Okay, welcome back to the channel. It's been a while, but it is new bike day. 2 new bikes. Sam has her 2021 RXB250 by Orion, and I have the Honda CRF 300, and that is a 21 as well, even though it is beginning of 22, but they're not changing. And the 22s aren't even out yet. So we will talk as we ride. Sammy, where you at?
Oh. I'm going.
Okay. So we haven't introduced Sam's 250. We talked about it, but she has the Orion RXB250L, which is a Chinese-made, imported by Orion, and it is a 250cc air-cooled, 6-speed, counterbalanced, 3-gallon tank. It's actually kind of a really good specs, and so far, the few miles. How many miles do you have on it, Sam?
Oh, I'm not sure. I can't see it right now, but probably less than 200, I'm sure.
Yeah. And, so as she's learning, she's gone from the 150 pit bike now to this. And we'll probably make a change on that. We'll talk about that later. But my new bike here is the Honda CRF300 Rally. This is a 2021 model. I was going to wait for the 22 to come out, but I don't think there's going to be any changes. I've done a lot of research, and they say it's going to be identical, even the graphics. And a lot of people say that the 250 was great, but it just needed that little bit, just a little bit more power. And this has it. It doesn't have a ton of power, but it definitely, I mean, you can cruise at 65, 70 miles an hour on the highway. It's got a very good low first gear, very tall 6th gear, so with that wide ratio transmission, you get a lot out of a 300. Dyno to the rear tire is about 22 horsepower, and with my weight and the bigger bike versus Sam's 20 horsepower and 20 pound-feet of torque, we actually accelerate very similar. I've got a little bit of an edge, but not much. So I'm still breaking this in. I just picked it up a few days ago, up to 112 miles now, so I still have to be gentle. But this isn't going to be my, it's a rally. It's not going to be my hard enduro bike. I'm not going to beat on it. I have the 2020 Orion RXB250 I can beat on. The parts are so cheap on that I don't really care about throwing that against a tree. And same with Sam's bike. It's pretty reliable and cheap, cheaper quality, cheaper cost, cheaper everything, but $2,500 ish. I mean, by the time you see this, it might be $2,700, who knows? But yeah, they're pretty decent. Now, this trail or road will turn into a trail soon, and we'll have some good scenery, so I'll check back in with you when things get a little more interesting, as they're starting to get more interesting now, but this is short-lived. How are those bar risers working out?
Really good.
Yeah, it seems like every single bike I ever get on needs bar risers. Every single one of them. But, yeah, with lowering the back of your bike 2 inches and an inch in the front, it is level and looks normal. It doesn't have that stink bug look when we first put it together. And your headlight was pointed straight at the ground, so from the factory, that shock is way too long. I don't see how it was like 14 inches from the top of the tire to the back of the fender. So now it's a little more balanced. I mean, it's not a full-size bike. So it is definitely smaller and more compact than like a KTM 250 or even the 2020 Orion. So we didn't know that exactly when we heard the specs at first, but it worked out really well because Sam had a GPX on order and it never really materialized. They ended up giving us a refund and tried to sell us on a different GPX bike, but she wanted that, what was it, the
250L.
Okay.
The compact frame.
And luckily when the Orions came in, it's the exact same bike. Almost identical specs, same engine, same frame, same plastics, same everything. So it was a pleasant surprise. I was going to take that bike, but when it came in and we saw it was smaller, it's exactly what Sam wanted. So it was kind of a weird turn of events with COVID changing, screwing up all the shipping and wait times. I even had to wait for this Honda. So luckily they called me last Monday or Tuesday. Monday they called me.
No, not even. It was later than that. It was like Tuesday or Wednesday.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, a little bit of a climb. I know the camera never shows this, but I'm getting pelted by Sam. Roosted me.
That looks hard.
I think you've got a little more bottom end torque than I do.
I probably do. This thing is real murky. I've speeded up everything like really easy. That was in third gear and it wasn't even having a problem.
Yeah, I think I was in fourth, that's why.
Yeah, well last week or the week before, whenever we went up that the last time, I put it in second gear and I was like, oh, that was pretty steep, but I decided to try it in third this time and it was fine. It was under control, didn't feel anything.
No, you were kind of roosting me a little bit. You were chucking gravel at me. But anyway.
Well, it didn't feel like I had lost control or anything. You don't know where it goes from clay to gravel out here. Here's the gravel again.
Yeah. So if anyone's wondering where we're at, we are now, I don't know where, we're in northern Louisiana and we're south of Shreveport. So we're out, there is hundreds and hundreds of miles of 2-track gravel roads out here. It's not a state forest. This is all fracking and coal mines, and there are, I call them county roads, but here in Louisiana they call them a parish, so these are parish roads. So nothing too aggressive, but it's actually better for Samantha because she's got enough room. If she sees a bird, she can, I mean, when we're on single track, she gets so distracted she hits a tree, but out here she's got some room. She's a bird nerd.
Yeah, well, I almost ran off the road looking at those turkeys earlier.
Yeah. So this gives her a little more room for air, and that was one way I was able to get her out on a bike was instead of walking through the woods for hours looking for birds, if she's ahead, now she gets to come up on the hawks and the eagles and the titmice and I don't know all the names. There's thousands of them. She will start announcing them as she sees them, though, by their proper name. So are you pulling this in third gear, Sam?
No, fourth. I didn't even do any more throttle. Just stayed steady and it's fine.
Yeah,
32 miles per hour all the way up.
I think this is our fork here to the right.
Okay. Yep, it might be. Yep.
Oh,
okay.
and then we've got to cut through because this is a dead end. So
should I follow?
yeah, follow me.
Okay.
it gets better.
Okay.
It feels a little goopy and soupy. Stay up to the right, up here by this fence. Don't spear yourself on the fence. Now, how are we going to get to that trail? And that trail is right there. All right, and that's a bit of a ledge. Here's the road I was looking for. Let me shut my bike off.
Yeah, you're gonna come get mine, right? I'm not doing that. Look now.
Oh,
Oh.
I stalled it.
Yeah, if it wasn't for this little lit ledge, I would have gone up it, but I don't want to get tossed off like.
And I will follow you.
Okay.
And that's one thing, as we were talking here about being in Louisiana.
Oh, there's some mud here.
Yeah, there is a lot of mud. Go to the right. There's mud there.
Oh. My bike's already dirty.
I washed it before we left.
I know. Okay, which way?
What?
I think so.
Yeah. Yeah, it's going to come up to a clearing and we're going to make a right.
Okay. Mud puddle there.
You could have jumped that. Okay.
This is where we take a right?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. So in Louisiana, they don't have sand up here in northern Louisiana. It is all rocky and clay. So, of course, when it rains, things get really snotty. But when it's dry, man, there's great traction. A dual sport tire actually works really well here. Unlike Florida, where it works everywhere but the sand, you've got to really know what you're doing in the sand to get a 50-50 or a 70-30 tire to work. Hey, do you want to ride this?
Maybe.
Okay. Find a spot to pull over. I think at the very top of the hill. We are going to get a first impression of actually the biggest bike you've ever ridden.
Yeah.
And it's only a 300. So, but someone who's basically been riding Chinese bikes. Well, you rode a Honda or a Yamaha on your MSF course.
Oh, this is a Suzuki.
Yeah. And that was a 250. But all right, well,
Yeah.
Let's get your first impression on it.
Yeah.
All right.
so civilized.
Yeah.
Okay.
And how tall are you exactly? 5'5"?
5'6" with like a 27-inch inseam.
All right, and you're
28.
not quite flat-footing it, so definitely the height is good for someone.
Yeah.
I'm 6'1", and I flat-foot, and it's like a little cruiser.
Yeah, I have normally short legs, so if I can ride it, probably anybody can.
All right, well, I haven't seen you ride it yet. Go. You're so gentle.
I know. Well, yeah.
Oh, this bike feels so tiny.
Oh yeah, it definitely feels a lot different. Yeah, it's more like yeah, I like my tires better. I'm gonna be going slow, I'm sorry.
That's all right.
This is a bigger, like you said, I mean, motor-wise, yeah, it's bigger, but it's physically bigger.
Which makes it easier to ride.
Probably. Yeah, the pit bike was a handful.
Yeah, I feel like I'm riding a Grom right now.
Yeah. And I feel like I'm on a gold one. Oh. Yeah, it's weird, like mine feels more planted in this terrain than this one does. But, I mean, it doesn't feel like it's all over the place, it's just different.
Well, this one has stiffer suspension than that.
Oh, that's probably.
And so it's not only the suspension, the springs on this are stiffer, and you have more dampening on this.
This clutch is so light. Nice. It's really nice. My phone is very happy right now.
And you notice you don't have any wind at all on your face?
Yeah, that's pretty nice. Okay.
All right, well, we have swapped bikes, and Sammy got to ride the 300 for the first time. What'd you think, Sammy?
I liked it, but I don't like your tires.
Yeah.
They are too squirmy for me.
Yeah, I do notice that they've got kind of a rounded profile, and on gravel roads they really kind of sketch around. Those K270s that you have are well planted. They're probably, bang for the buck, the best dual sport tire. All right.
I didn't notice going from the Trackmasters to these like a big problem with grip or anything. I've been happy with these. Even when we were riding in the rocks out there, these were fine.
We got to figure out where our spot is, where we cut through. Ooh, I lost a lot of traction there.
Did you jump this little thing?
Tried to, but the back end broke loose.
Oh, did you fall in there? Did you land on that pile of sticks?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, we just broke traction. Did we go this way before?
I don't think so. This doesn't seem too familiar.
I don't see our tracks.
No.
I think we turned off to the right back there. We were supposed to turn off to the right. However, this looks really fun.
Yeah.
Oh, big hole. And I apologize if there's any conversation that just gets cut out. The DJI Osmo Action camera. Oh, which way?
Right. Isn't it? I think.
Yep. Oh, slime.
Oh yeah, I wish that's exactly the first time. Oh, I think I just got thorns on my knee.
Okay, this looks like the area where we cut through. There's a tire track. We'll go straight. We're already dirty.
Yeah, that's fine.
You want to go first?
Nope, I'm fine.
Now remember, this clay is wet, so.
Yep, that's why I was just poking. Got my foot out.
Oh, that's soft. There is mud under the pine needles.
Yeah.
So this definitely isn't a well-used trail. So I'm going to go high on the left. Let's see here if I can straighten it out. Did you make it through?
Oh. I did not.
Oh, you dumped it.
It almost pulled me down a second time.
Are you going to push the bike all the way home?
Well, we're heading home. This is a quick introduction to our two new bikes on the channel, so